Hi, everybody. Jeff Price here. On behalf of the team at Rochester Concrete Products, I'd like to welcome you to our GeoCeramica webinar. I'm so excited you're joining us here today to learn about GeoCeramica. GeoCeramica is a 1cm porcelain product fused to concrete. It gives you the installation ease of a concrete paver, yet the durability, maintenance-free of porcelain. GeoCeramica fits perfectly into what we call the new standard. It is definitely a new standard in terms of innovation. No more do contractors have to worry about pavers that have efflorescence, polymeric hazing issues. With GeoCeramica, it all goes away. On the homeowner side, homeowners no longer have to worry about staining a paver. They no longer have to worry about scratching a paver or even maintaining it because GeoCeramica is a maintenance-free product. I'm truly excited for what we have prepared for you today. Not only are we going to go around North America, we're actually going to go around the world and meet different people who have advice for us on the benefits of GeoCeramica. We're going to learn how to cut GeoCeramica. We're going to learn how to pack GeoCeramica. We're going to learn how to take it off a pallet. All of the things that you need to know to make you comfortable installing and selling the GeoCeramica product. No better place in the world to kick off this webinar is the cheese state, Wisconsin.
Hey everyone, Chad and Danny here in southern Wisconsin. We're going to be talking to you guys about our newest product, GeoCeramica. I'm going to be talking about the positive attributes of it. Danny's going to go over what exactly it is.
All right, let's talk about what GeoCeramica is. If you come in here, the first color that we offer is pearl, followed by taupe, sable, and smoke. All right, let's talk about the main components of GeoCeramica. If you come in here, let's go over, get a little closer here. So your top portion is 24 by 24, 1cm or 3/8 porcelain tile. The base that you see here, this is a stable cordon base, and in the manufacturing process, this is basically a through mix paver. So in between here is the Aquaform binding agent, and during the manufacturing process, that is applied in between the porcelain and the through mix paver, and it's vibrated and actually infused into the concrete paver and binds together that porcelain and through mix paver.
Hey guys, some key advantages to porcelain tile being bonded to concrete. From the porcelain side, some really good qualities for exterior use. Number one, it's not going to fade in the sun, ever. Huge thing comparing it to other exterior products. Number two is durability. This material, when bonded to a suitable substrate, concrete in this case, has a super high compression strength. Third, really good attribute to porcelain tile is that it's impervious, meaning it won't absorb anything. To be classified as a porcelain, it has to have 0.5% absorption or less. So what does that mean for us as hardscapers, as suppliers of these products to the industry? It means that your product isn't going to stain. You're going to be able to clean that material off. It doesn't matter if it's oil, grease, red wine. I always like to say that outdoor living spaces are just a wonderful place to use porcelain tile because there's a lot of food, there's a lot of grease from grills, wine, drinks, things like that. Porcelain tile is not going to absorb any of that. One other really good attribute to GeoCeramica is the ease of install. So it's been tough in the past with other products, porcelain products, 2cm, to get that installation down pat right. GeoCeramica, you're going to install just like a paver.
So one more big advantage I wanted to touch on was the spacer element that is added during the manufacturing process. So if you come in here and take a look at this, there are two per side. There's a built-in spacer, like I said, through the manufacturing process that is a massive advantage on the install side of GeoCeramica.
That's all from southern Wisconsin. Now let's send it to Illinois.
Hey everybody, I'm Kirk Glade with Rochester Concrete Products, and I am up at Wilson Nursery and Landscape Supply in Volo, Illinois here, where we just received a pallet of our GeoCeramica porcelain. And a couple things I want to go over and touch base with you on is the packaging of this product and some of the details that were put into it. Okay, one of the first things I want to kind of point out to you with the packaging of our GeoCeramica porcelain here is that when this product was packaged, our production team took care of the measures to put protective sleeves on all four corners of the pallet on the product itself. Reason for that is we want to make sure and ensure that the product does not get chipped during transit. The other thing I want you to take a look at here as well then too before we open the pallet up is we also incorporated horizontal banding strapping on the pallet. That helps and ensures and provides and assists with some aid of the product not slipping on or shifting on the pallet during transit. All right, so I just took the shrink wrap off this pallet of GeoCeramica here, and I want you to go ahead and take a look, and you can see the sleeves that were incorporated on the corners of the product a little bit better here, and also the horizontal banding as well then too. Right, now that you have opened up the pallet and you've taken the top dressing off, you can clearly see that with the pallet of GeoCeramica, there's a total of 26 units on here, a little over 100 square feet of product. Pallet weight configuration is right around 1,840 pounds, including the pallet itself. So once it is open, you might want to go ahead and just do another second visual inspection walk around the pallet. And if you see any of the product that may be damaged or could be damaged from shipping, go ahead and make note of that, set that off to the side, use that product for cuts. Thing that I'd like to point out then too, clearly you can see on this tile over here, there's 4 glue dots on the top of this one here. Each one of the tiles itself during packaging does receive 4 to 6 glue dots. The purpose for that is actually to create a little bit of a buffer zone in between the tiles so they're not sitting directly on one another during transportation. So they're easily removed. They can easily be just rubbed or scraped right off with a straight edge putty knife. Okay, so that's a quick little overview of the packaging of GeoCeramica porcelain. And you may be wondering or asking yourself, okay, where does GeoCeramica fall into from a pricing standpoint? Well, GeoCeramica typically is going to fall into that mid to upper range high-end paver price category there. But for more specific details on pricing, definitely reach out to your RCP rep or actually one of your local dealers or distributors as well then too. They can provide you with pricing as well then too. And as Chad and Danny also mentioned in a previous video clip here, GeoCeramica is available in 4 colors, which makes it relatively easy to stock, very few SKUs. So to wrap things up here, GeoCeramica has not only the benefits, but a price point that'll make it quickly one of your customers' go-to products. And with that, we're going to throw it across the pond to our friends at MBI over in the Netherlands.
Good morning, everyone. This is Ben van Dooyeweert, export manager here at MBI. MBI is a Dutch company who is the founder, the owner, and the producer of GeoCeramica as a brand in Western Europe. We are here now at the stockyard in Nieuw Lekkerland, the Netherlands, and this is the place where we produce more than 15 million square feet of GeoCeramica every year. Come take a look around. What you see here is the complete inventory of MBI in all kinds of thicknesses of GeoCeramica, 4, 6 and 8 cm. We are here able to produce more than 10 different sizes in multiple designs, more than 300 different designs. The inventory at the moment is high season at the moment here in Holland. Is about 3 million square feet of GeoCeramica, which is ready to take off. This is also the place where people of RCP were inspired by this beautiful product and decided to take this product home to the US and make it their own. So they are now able to produce themselves at the facility in Jordan, Minnesota.
Hey guys, I'm Joe with Rochester Concrete Products.
I'm Jimmy with Rochester Concrete Products.
I'm excited to be coming to you from Des Moines, Iowa. We're going to be talking all things GeoCeramica, what it is, what the process is, some tips and tricks. We're really going to dive into some of the actual best installation practices, what you can expect, and how to work with this stuff. All right, Jimmy. So talk to me a little bit about this. We've got the material to the site. I need to start moving it around. What are some of the things that I need to pay attention to?
Absolutely. So before you do anything, obviously you move it off the truck. You don't want to unband or unwrap anything as of yet.
Yep.
You want to wait till this product reaches its final destination before you do so.
All right, so we've got the pallets open. We're ready to start laying this thing. Talk to me about it. Probably 6, 7, 8 layers tall, 1 or 2 pieces per layer. So first couple, we got to be a little bit more gentle, I assume, as we start to pull them off the pallet. Can we slide them? Can we tilt them? Do we want to go straight up with it? What do we need to do with this thing?
Great question. So material handling with this product is very crucial. 72 pounds. So you would definitely want to use 2 hands and lift all 4 points at the same time. No type of tilting off the pallet or when you're laying it into your base, because that will cause potential issues with the product in hand or the product that's already installed.
Yep.
So when installing by hand, like you mentioned, people tend to tilt the product and then set it in. What that is, it's going to mess up your grade. But when you go to set it in, it's going to chip either that product or the one it's leaning against. So that's why we highly recommend the vacuum lifter shown here by Brooks.
So with that being said, let's talk about how to cut it. You've played around with it a little bit, just like I have.
Yep.
Now we've done chop saws, we've done table saws, tub saws, you name it, we've tried it. We've come up with some pretty good resources for these guys. The biggest thing you guys want to make sure that you have is porcelain rated tile blades that are continuous, almost like a glass blade, Jimmy, where it doesn't have any sort of ribbing, any sort of texture. You want it to be 100% smooth, smaller diamond sets, and the wider the better. We always recommend that you follow the directions for the blade itself. Make sure that the RPMs match the actual saw.
Right.
You talked a little bit earlier about how overall thick that was. Said it's about 1.6, the rough numbers, right? So we don't need big blades for this, guys. We really don't. Our cut depth we need is, call it 1.25 inches or 1.75 inches to 2 inches.
Yep.
That should be pretty close. Marking the unit has been something that we've actually had to play around with a little bit. Honestly, what we've had the best results with is a grease pencil.
Oh, wow.
Just the same thing that you can get at any big box store back in the porcelain area, local hardware stores. It's a grease pencil made with porcelain tile. But the grease has been great, man, because especially as I'm running a wet saw on this thing, when it sprays, it actually doesn't take the mark out ahead of me. So I can keep a line and I can keep things going. So we've got everything cut in.
Yeah.
We're ready to start packing this thing.
We are.
Am I using a jumping jack? Am I using a vibratory plate? What am I packing this thing with?
Great question. So we do prefer the roller compactor.
Yep.
That's kind of our standard. Just because when you lay these in, you may see a variance of about 1/8 of an inch. So don't get worried yet. Use that roller compactor that is preferred over the plate compactor or plate compactor with a buffer. Just because the plate compactor doesn't cover the surface area as the roller compactor would, a little more consistent. But also we've noticed it can cause product issues just because it can chip a corner pretty easily with how aggressive they can be.
So vibratory plate compactor, great for the base.
Right.
Absolutely not for the top.
Yep.
Now let's talk about sanding and edging.
All right.
So what type of sand should I be using in this thing? Is there anything special I need to look at? What are we going for?
Nothing special really. It's all a preference at the end of the day.
I'm going to say dealer's choice for the sand, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you guys are comfortable with, whatever you're used to using, let's roll with it.
Absolutely. And that's part of the convenience, right? And what we're saying is the ease and the installation and all the above and not make it a learning curve. And I think that's the biggest thing we're trying to overcome. But
It's
also,
a paver.
exactly. Yeah.
It's a paver.
Yep.
Do it like you do a normal paver.
Absolutely.
That's really the beautiful thing about this. It's a paver with all the benefits of tile.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah. So edging. Let's keep along the lines here.
Yep.
We got basic 2 types, right? You've got concrete edging and you've got plastic edging.
Yeah.
It's my opinion that You can use either or.
What would you prefer?
You know, I honestly, if I'm doing a chip setting, I'd probably do concrete edging.
Yeah.
Even on traditional class 5, I would probably do a concrete edge. Just allows me to get a little bit closer. I can under tuck into it. I concrete edging to me on this particular type makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how do we clean this damn thing.
So preferred power washing method.
Yep.
And it's kind of like what we mentioned earlier. There's no preferred method, but any general soaps,
Yep.
I would say, or cleaners is going to be fine for the porcelain paving.
Yep.
Again, you're not going to blow out any sand with the power washer. Not going to have any issues there. I'm just kind of moving forward.
Yep. You know, the nice thing about this, Jimmy, is we don't have to use aggressive chemicals to clean this.
Right.
You can just stick with basic household cleaners, you know, paver shampoos, just anything that's very base, very, very easy.
Yeah.
Power washer is going to take care of a lot of this, guys. You know, a simple 25-degree tip, you can go all the way down to 15 degree if you need to get a little bit more excessive. But 25-degree tip, basic 3,000 PSI pressure washer, it'll go in and it will remove almost every type of thing that you can run in. Well, Jimmy, I don't think we're missing anything.
No, I think we really covered all the tools, tricks, and tips that we had, and it covered the efficiency and what this product is really about. So I really think it's time to turn this over to Minnesota.
This is Keith in Bloomington, Minnesota. Before I get into talking about applications, I found what I thought would be a great visual indication of where GeoCeramica would be a good fit. So this is a restaurant that I frequent with my family, and about 3 years ago during COVID, they built this beautiful outdoor patio, and they put in these nice cream colored pavers. But as you look at this, as I walk down the aisle here, you can see all the grease that's been tracked out of the kitchen. So when servers are bringing food out to the people on the deck here or on the patio, they come out of this door and you can see all the grease that's been stuck to the bottom of their shoes and is tracked out onto the patio. In addition to all the staining that is underneath all these tables. But I'll bring it back here and you can just see how discolored these pavers are. And this is only 3 years old. Look at all the stuff that's stuck here. You've got rust stains from the furniture. I'm going to take you back over here where there's a wad of gum that's someone spit out and stuck. When you look at something like this, GeoCeramica is very easy to clean. You can pressure wash it. Nothing sticks to it. So let's talk about applications where GeoCeramica would be a good fit. Consider pool decks for sure. Consider a patio, terrace. You could look at walkways. Front walks might get a little bit dicey in terms of how are you going to remove the snow. GeoCeramica has square edges. It does not have a chamfer. So anything that has a metal edge to it could be problematic. But if you're using something with a plastic edge, or a plastic snow shovel, should be no issue at all. In addition to residential applications that I mentioned, I think GeoCeramica has a lot of applications in the commercial world. Think about areas that are going to get a ton of traffic that are constantly being washed. I look at, for instance, the tavern where I'm sitting here, where grease is being tracked across. Think about plazas, entrances to businesses, shopping malls, car dealers, casinos, places like that where people are spitting out gum, snuffing out a cigarette, places that are going to get washed, pressure washed on a heavy basis, that won't stand up if you're putting in concrete pavers. Concrete pavers just won't stand up to a constant pressure washing. The nice thing about the GeoCeramica is that it does have 3 to 4 millimeter joints, which is perfect for a product, a resin type sand that will withstand being pressure washed. If you're using a resin-based sand as your joining material, both the GeoCeramica and the joints will withstand pressure washing up to 3,500 PSI. With GeoCeramica being used in a patio type situation or a particular pool deck, we've had people ask about, what about it being slippery? They see porcelain tile as being very slippery. Now, all the tile we make meets the standard, the dynamic coefficient of friction, which is a standard that tile manufacturers use to determine where the tile can be used. All the tile that is used in GeoCeramica meets or exceeds the DCOF for areas that are in wet locations, particularly, say, a locker room. So pool decks fall within that. So in terms of being slippery, this is not. Inevitably, when we talk about GeoCeramic on a pool deck, the question is, all right, what do I do for a coping piece? There are a number of solutions for that. You could use natural stone. Here at RCP, we make an antique travertine wet cast coping piece, 24 inches long, 12 inches wide. It's about 2 inches thick, so it's not quite the thickness of the GeoCeramica, but pretty close. It's beautiful. We make it in ivory and natural gray. We do make a dry cast bullnose paver. So that's an option. That's a wrap on applications for GeoCeramica. I'm going to send it back to Rochester now.
Thanks, Keith. I'm Kevin Mensing, Vice President of Marketing with Rochester Concrete Products. In the past 25 minutes or so, you've heard a ton of great information about GeoCeramica, the product. But as a manufacturer, we also know it doesn't stop with just having a great product. We also need to have the support and resources in place from a sales, marketing, and training perspective to help you be successful. From a training perspective, we know there's a couple things that really matter. Number one, it's being able to train that dealer staff to be able to talk to homeowners and contractors about GeoCeramica as a product and what they need to know in terms of having a successful install. We have a host of resources available. We also have RCP sales reps who are more than willing to schedule an in-person training. The second piece that really matters in training is going beyond that initial training of your staff and providing you the resources to help you train contractors or have contractors be able to access resources while they're in the field to help them have successful GeoCeramica installations. So we've created a YouTube channel with a ton of great content on what's unique about GeoCeramica. You've heard a lot about it today. Those resources will be out there for you and contractors to access on our YouTube channel. As part of the launch of GeoCeramica, we're also excited to introduce our new sales and marketing kit. The sales and marketing kit will be available to you to order during this webinar. You can order either all of them or individual pieces that include a new consumer brochure in GeoCeramica, counter display mat, as well as product display, color display rack that can come with a stand for a countertop display or also be removed from the stand and stored and used separately. If you are interested in a consumer marketing kit, don't hesitate to answer in the poll above and select the items you want to receive. We'll get your information and be sure that kit's sent out to you promptly.
Isn't that awesome? Way to go, team. Super impressed with everybody and how they were able to present on how to cut, how to pack, and all the wonderful benefits of GeoCeramica. The marketing team's been hard at work creating all these wonderful tools for us to help sell the product. We have sample boards, counter mats, and we have actual samples of the GeoCeramica ready for you to go out and sell to your customers. We appreciate everything you guys have done and the time you've taken to attend this webinar, and we look forward to shipping GeoCeramica to your market next week.